Hello, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to present to you my market analysis for Bank of America for the proposed expansion into the market of the United Kingdom. I'd like to start with the company profile. Um, Bank of America is one of the three largest banks, with the other two being JP Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo. It finished 2019 with US domestic market share by deposits on hand of 10.58%, which did put it at the top. The three largest banks, they do go back and forth on a year-to-year basis, depending on how business goes on the previous year. Bank of America is made up of several business lines as far as product offerings. They do personal banking, commercial banking for businesses, medical practices, and such. Do credit card offerings, different ways for consumers to be able to borrow, and then also, of course, mortgage and auto lending. The credit side of the world, of course, is where the largest amount of revenue comes from, being from interest rates. And then, of course, they also do offer investment services through their Merrill branding. To continue on, the 2008-2009 financial crisis did impact the stock price pretty heavily. Saw a drop of from a high of pretty close to a little over $50 down to a low of $3 per share at the bottom. And this, of course, really severely shook shareholder confidence, and it's taken quite a while for Bank of America stock to really rebound, and we still haven't seen it raise back up to that $50 mark again. Um, However, there have been the past, 10 years plus of responsible growth, as the CEO Brian Moynihan puts it, um, in a way to make sure that Bank of America is making the best choices to increase their shareholder confidence and ultimately affect their stock price in a positive manner. Expansion analysis, simply put, a proposed expansion into the United Kingdom. Right now, the current offering of Bank of America services, if you will, is through sister bank partnerships. Now, this doesn't necessarily provide actual financial services for residents of the UK. However, it does allow folks who are traveling to the UK to use the Bank of America products while they're abroad. Uh, this is partly due to the fact that the UK banking sector is dominated by three main banking groups. This is, of course, decreased competition and has been detrimental to the customer in the fact that pricing and servicing is predicated by the three largest banks, and it makes it difficult for smaller banks to really, move in and grow from there. The goal would be to bring full service financial offering to the UK, much like Bank of America has done here in the United States. The products and services that are offered currently and that would be used within the first expansion would be credit cards, and then we would move on to consumer banking. Credit cards first because those are a high revenue item. They're also relatively low touch, meaning that they can be implemented, marketed, and used without having the need for traditional branches to be set up for full service financial business. Once consumer banking has been implemented, that will see the establishment of physical branches in the United Kingdom, and then allows them, Bank of America, to move on into full financial planning and investment services, much like they do here in the United States. The marketing data flow is as such. The initial push into the UK is going to start with a research survey. Can go out through email based on clients that have currently used services in the UK, and also um, clients who are currently using other banking services. The individual is going to receive that survey, and then we're going to find out if they're either an existing client because they have accounts back here in the United States. If that's a yes, we're going to thank the client for the continued relationship, and that's pretty much the end of the expansion survey. If they're not a existing client, then we're going to invite them to take the survey in exchange for a free financial consultation, which is something they may not have had before. If the prospective client completes the survey, they will get to a landing page with the competitive analysis of our different credit products. And then they'll be presented with our scheduling system, which allows them to set up an appointment for that full financial consultation. Prospective clients will then meet with the bank employee either physically or virtually. That will be determined by the client themselves. Um, During this meeting, there'll be a financial needs discussion. We need to know what the client needs from their banking relationship. There'll also be a financial goal discussion because that is how we know how best to present our solutions. We'll then have that solution discussion and then move on to account opening. If the client agrees to a new relationship, then we'll move on from there. But if the answer is no, then of course we'll present the consultation worksheet, which has the details of what we gathered and our analysis, and then thank them for their time. The goal would be that they would later on revisit that worksheet and give us another chance to win that business. But if they say yes, then we're going to complete full account opening procedures as usual, and then of course obtain future consultation permission because we don't want to just stop with that initial credit conversation. We want to be able to move on into that full, banking financial services consultation and conversation, and we want to be able to discuss the different rewards levels that we have that get them better cash back and rewards points, and how to achieve those through an expanded relationship with Bank of America. For quantitative analysis, it's pretty straightforward. Um, the largest pieces of the puzzle, of course, are Bank of America, Chase, and Wells Fargo. They dominate the right-hand side of this scatter plot graph, um, as such because they have the largest market shares. That being said, there's other companies that do work in this market as well. Um, but our goal here is to, take this same kind of marketing dominance, if you will, and apply that over into the UK as we expand our offerings there. Target area analysis, the purpose of this is to show the relative relationship between the size of the different cities in the UK. Since that's where we're first focusing, we're going to narrow it down to Greater London first because they have the largest overall population, which gives us the ability to really focus our efforts in an area where, marketing and future analysis will be the most beneficial. The next closest in size is going to be West Midlands. The West Midlands area as a whole, which is comprised of several cities, only has a little over 2.7 million residents population compared to the Greater London area's 8.173. So therefore, we want to make sure that our efforts are truly being best applied, and this is going to allow the staff that is available to most effectively administer the advice and gather that business. So to summarize it up, um, the point of moving into a market such as the United Kingdom is to greater expand the footprint of what Bank of America offers throughout the world and take their current aspect of only offering global and institutional services in the UK and bring that over into the consumer part of the world. The only way that this can truly be achieved, though, is going to be through proper marketing, which our analysis and research will help direct, and then having a well-trained and passionate staff on hand to then be able to help those clients and make sure that they are best served and best helped. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great rest of the day.